What is up, everybody? We are here on the Sports 2.0 show. My name is Aaron Yadgaroff, and today I am with my co-host Akshay Kumbar. How are you doing today, Akshay?
Doing great. Had a great weekend. Watched a lot of football. Watched a lot of basketball. Excited for this week of sports.
Same as me. Big week in sports last week and this week. We're heading to the end of the group stages in the Euros. Today is all going to be about soccer and the Euros in total. So let's talk about our first topic today. We're going to be talking about the biggest surprises of the group stage. Want to kick that off?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, I think the biggest surprise right now is just how well the Netherlands are playing. I think a lot of people at the beginning of this tournament didn't really expect them to, set the world on fire. Although they are in a easier group. Nobody really expected them to perform as well as they are right now. That's thanks to Memphis Depay, Gini Wijnaldum, and I think that right now, they had a very suspect first game against Ukraine where they let up. It was interesting because they had a 2-0 lead, and then they almost basically squandered that away, and then won the game in the 88th minute. So a lot of people are very questioning Frank de Boer and his coaching strategy there. But then the last two games they've absolutely been incredible. They've had two shutouts, and I think right now that they are a true dark horse in this tournament.
I totally agree with everything you said. Netherlands, right away, a lot of people were not that big on them because Frank de Boer has not really done well managerial-wise since being at Ajax, which was years ago. He had a stint in Crystal Palace, a stint in Inter Milan, a stint even in America for Atlanta United. He's had a lot of stints that did not look great for him, and their team is doing great. As you said, the first game was a little crazy. There was no goals in that first half, and then Wijnaldum and Weghorst got the goals. And then into the 70th minute, I think Ukraine scored two within 5 minutes. And then Dumfries scored a header, who's been arguably their best player, Denzel Dumfries, who's playing at the right wing back spot, a PSV player. Him and Wijnaldum, Depay have all been great. Malen, who wasn't their starting lineup originally, has now became a starter, taking over for Weghorst, who's been great. Malen, he's been setting up goals and just showing off his speed, his ability in front of net. Like you mentioned, they haven't conceded a goal in the last two games. Having De Ligt back from injury has been really important. He wasn't there for the first game, which they conceded to. So that was a big momentum booster. And this team is definitely, I don't even consider them a dark horse anymore. I think they've shown how good they are, and people should be used to seeing their name. In second place in that group, Group C, we had Austria, who had 6 points, which is a really good amount of points for that group. So that means 2 wins. They only lost their game to Netherlands. They beat Ukraine, North Macedonia, the other two groups. I'm still going to say a surprise in the group stage is Macedonia making it to the tournament, and they did not look bad really in any of their games.
Yeah.
They didn't look that bad against Netherlands. They had so many good chances in that game. I watched that game, and I think his name is what's his name? Not Pandev, but the other guy. It is Trajikowski. He plays for a Spanish team in the second division in Spain. And he looked really good out there. Had his little rocket of a shot. I don't want to say it's a surprise how bad they did. They got 0 points, sadly, but surprised they made it into the tournament still, and they looked good out there.
Yeah, I agree. I think not a lot of people were expecting. Nobody was really expecting this team to make it, but the fact that they did, and a lot of their players actually shined on the stage, this big stage, it's quite promising for this team in the future if they can continue their success in Europe.
Yeah, another surprise that we can mention, and who probably looks like the best team, in my opinion, by far, is Italy. I don't want to say it's a surprise, but the surprise is that they've conceded 0 goals. There's 7 goals, 0 allowed. They had a slightly tough group, in my opinion. They had Wales, Switzerland, Turkey. We'll talk about Turkey in a little bit more. But that's a tough group. They have some great attackers in every single one of those teams. Wales is Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey. Kiefer Moore is always a threat in the air. We got Switzerland, Zoran Shaqiri, Severovic, who was great in Portugal this year. And Turkey had Yilmaz, who led the league in France in goals and played for the team that won the league. So Italy is definitely a shock by conceding legit 0 goals.
Yeah, and you mentioned this team. but another surprise as well is just how bad Turkey has been in these group stages. A lot of people, saw their defense as one of the best in this tournament, and they have, just been obliterated in the group stages. Only have one goal, conceded 8. I mean, it's something that not a lot of people expected. But I mean, hats off to Wales, Italy, and Switzerland for performing and being able to get past this Turkish defense. But I think the surprise there is just how bad that Turkey defense has been, and just in general the team has been in the group stages.
For sure, agree with you. If you guys remember, I had them as my dark horse of the tournament. They looked didn't control like any game against Wales. They started controlling it more into the game because they were losing. They had the higher possession in that game. Every other game, definitely the Italy game, they looked way behind the ball. The Switzerland game, they looked way behind the ball too. Seferovic and Xherdan Shaqiri, who hasn't been on form in ages for Liverpool, barely plays that much. Scored 2 against them, got a brace. So Turkey, I loved you guys a few weeks ago. You were my dark horse. How had you guys going, winning the group even, and getting 0 points is a shocker to think every single person.
Yeah. I also have one surprise as well is the fact that Spain has drawn their past 2 matches. Personally, I had them actually winning it, going to the final. I know I didn't have winning it. I had them going to the finals, but losing to France. But I mean, right now they're third in their group. They only have 2 points. On the verge of possibly not qualifying unless they beat Slovakia tomorrow. So I don't know. I don't really quite understand what's going on here. Obviously, the whole COVID situation at their camp before the tournament definitely plays a role in this. Alvaro Morata, who I thought would be a player of this tournament, has missed about maybe like 7 goals thus far. Their defense is, kind of dwindling at the end of games. They don't really have the stamina to hold on. They had a lead against Poland, but then, Lewandowski just got that insane goal. So I think, it's a big surprise that Spain hasn't performed, as many people would expect them to.
Yeah, Spain was definitely into the tournament, the best team in this group. People had Poland as the other great team in this group because of Robert Lewandowski, Zielinski, a lot of quality players, Wojciech Szczesny and net. But they're in the bottom of the group, so it's a huge surprise. Sweden and Slovakia top 2 right now. Sweden's going to make the groups, the knockout stage, round of 16, whatever you want to call it, the next, no matter what. So great for Sweden. Alex Isaks looked incredible. I hope he gets a big move to a big club in the Premier League, goes back to Dortmund, wherever. Doesn't seem like there's a buyback clause, but we're not sure about that, it seems like. But I think we need to talk about Czech Republic as the biggest surprise. Patrick Schick looks incredible up there at striking up for their scored a goal from half field basically against Scotland, scored another goal against Croatia. Today's match between England and Czech Republic is going to be a good one to watch. England will control most of the tempo. But yeah, speaking about England, let's talk about the COVID issues about that. We had Billy Gilmore, who was the man of the match performer in the Scotland-England game, contracted COVID. Do you want to talk about this more, Akshay?
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen, throughout the world and how they've handled COVID, Euro 2020 definitely, UEFA definitely screwed this up. I mean, the fact that only Billy Gilmore is the only person on his team to test positive and be forced to sit out, but you have Mason Mount and Bill Chilwell that they have to sit out in England. I mean, the fact that only 2 people there and nobody on Scotland has to sit out, I think it's couldn't have come at a worse time for England, in my opinion. But I mean, this does give an opportunity for other stars on that stacked England roster to step up and perform at a high level and show the world that and their country that they can perform at the international level.
Oh, for sure. Players like Jack Grealish, who is taking Mason Mount's spot, is gonna show the world what he's about. He's a fan favorite on the team, so I'm very excited for that. I agree totally with you that it's crazy that nobody else has to sit out from the Scotland side and stuff like that. Like they all play with him; they're in the same dressing room and stuff like that. So It's incredible to me that Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell for just giving him a little hug because of Chelsea teammates end of the game need to sit out.
Yeah. But I mean, so I have a question for you here. Does Mason Mount not being able to play, does that, play a big factor in today's game against Czech Republic, or do you think that England, still has a good chance of winning?
I am supporting England throughout this tournament, and I think Mason Mount is one of the first names on the team sheet. I think it goes Harry Kane, I think it goes Harry Maguire if healthy, and then Mason Mount. I think he's the third name on the team sheet, then Raheem Sterling fourth. Maybe with Gareth Southgate third, but we'll see between them two. They're up there, Mason Mount. So Jack Grealish has the quality to control this game and stuff like that, and I think he will. I think England will still win this game. I think Mason Mount's a big loss because of he's on free kicks for them, he's on set pieces for them, and without Trippier starting too, I'm wondering who takes the corners for them. If it's Saka who's getting in the lineup, it's Grealish. So Mason Mount's corners have been on point. So we'll see. You got any thoughts about that on the scoreline of that game or situations?
Well, I personally, I think that Czech Republic have been playing great. Patrick Schick has been, amazing thus far, tied for first in goals. But I do think that England is due for that win. I think that, they had a very tough game against Scotland last time around, but I think that, they'll get it done. I think that they won't obviously blow out Czech Republic, but I do think that they'll find a way to get the ball in the net. They're a very frustrated performance, but I think that they'll come back and use this situation that they're in as fuel to win and carry this momentum into the knockout stages.
Yeah, so second place, first place in that group is actually going to be a little scary for whoever gets it because they're going to be needing to play second place in Group F. So
yeah,
right now Czech Republic has it. So if they do draw, Czech Republic will be getting that placement against Group F. So maybe that benefits England, but you play to win every game. England is not thinking about any chance in losing this game just so they don't need to play Portugal or France.
Yeah.
They know as far as they want to get into the tournament, they need to play all great teams. If it's Portugal, if it's France, Germany, Belgium, Spain, any of the top tier teams. So they need to play to win the game.
Yeah, I agree.
So we got the group stage finishing off in the next today, tomorrow, and one more day. So we already discussed Group D. So Group E we discussed a little bit too. We got the Sweden, Slovakia, Spain, and Poland, which we discussed a good amount. So let's just go down to Group of Death, Group F.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Group of Death?
It's been a whirlwind of a ride. France, a heavy favorite, actually drew with Hungary. Not many people saw that coming. I think, but I still think that France is the best team in this tournament. I think that they'll show it. So Portugal and France playing. I think France will get revenge for that Euro 2016 final. I think that France will, use that last game as fuel and kind of, push themselves and show themselves as well that, they are the best team. Portugal obviously is coming off that, the terrible loss to Germany where they conceded 4 goals. I think, Portugal, if they want a shot at, even just competing in throughout the rest of this tournament, they have to, really, buckle down on defense, just trying to stop these careless mistakes that, Germany took advantage of in that game. And on the other side, Germany and Hungary, I have them winning by a lot. I think they're a more dominant team than Hungary. They are coming up a great game. They know, what works. And I think that right now they're all in form and, everybody can benefit from that. And I think that Germany will end up taking this.
I totally agree with you right now. I think Germany looks incredible for that last match. I am hand on my heart saying I thought Germany was going to be terrible. I thought they were going to, this whole tournament, they've not looked good against many teams. They're going to get third place in the group and maybe not even make it out of the group because of the seeding stuff. But having 3 points and playing the weakest team in the group still with Hungary, even if they get a draw, they should be making out of the group because of their goal difference being positive. But I think they win this game 1 or 2-0, maybe 2-1. It's not going to be that many goals. I said that last time when they played, but with watching Hungary, they have a very good defense. They did allow 3 goals to Portugal. That was an 84th plus there's a penalty giving away, and then they didn't allow France to score the whole first half. They got a goal, and then Griezmann scored a little tap in. So I expect it to be a close 2-0 game, we'll say. So I don't sound that tough. But in the France game, I'm hoping that it's going to be a really entertaining game. I want a draw so we can have Portugal still in the tournament, so for entertaining-wise. But with their positive goal difference and a draw, they should make it out. But I do see France winning this game. For viewership reasons, I hope it's only they win by 1 goal, and that Portugal could still make it into the next round, but we'll see. I have France winning that game, probably 2-1.
Yeah.
So. But Germany looks so good. They looked good in their first game against France. France won that game though, and then they looked dominating in that Portugal game. Robin Gosens looked incredible. Kai Havertz looked incredible. You have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I think that, right now all these Germany players, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They're playing to, get vengeance, and really just, put themselves back on the map and really assert themselves as one of the top teams in Europe. I think that they obviously had a very disappointing World Cup in 2018. And I think they're using that as fuel to, this incredible run and form that they are in this tournament. And I think they have a great shot at making, a deep run in the knockout stages. If they, even if they get difficult opponents, I still think that they are a top contender for this title.
Totally agree with you. I would not have said that. I maybe would have said that just seeing the name Germany, but after looking at the results before the tournament, they have shown the youth they have, everything else, the youth, and then they have Manuel Neuer and Thomas Muller, who shows the experience, and Toni Kroos also. There's 3 big starters for them, and then having youth players like Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry, Kai Havertz, Ginter still in the younger stage. Gosens, not the youngest, but young for the Germany team by meaning appearances wise. So they have, and Kimmich, obviously, that's their best player, probably Kimmich. I didn't even mention playing the right wing back, not the 6 like he usually does. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible few days of football, and I'm really excited to watch it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, it's been an interesting group stages thus far, but, nonetheless, it's been exciting, and I'm really looking forward to all the knockout stage matches that are going to be happening.
For sure. I think that's all we got for today, though. So everyone who was watching, thank you so much for viewing. Drop a sub to the YouTube channel, drop a like on the Facebook pages, follow on the Twitch channel, and yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you guys later.